The Nuggets are just never going to win the cup. They're just never going to win the cup. They're not going to Vegas. No cup fun for Nuggets fans. Coming up, I am mad about the officiating for once. For one time, I am mad. Ryan and I will talk about it on Locked On Nuggets.
You are Locked On Nuggets, your daily Denver Nuggets podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On Nuggets, your daily Denver Nuggets podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thanks for joining us, making us part of your day, being an everydayer, joining us Monday through Friday, and making us your first listen. We do appreciate each and every one of you, whether you're listening on the podcast form on Saturday. Hope your weekend's going great. Or if you're checking us out at youtube.com/LockedOnNuggets, either watching this later, or if you're joining us in the live show, a lot of folks hanging out with us here on the show. On today's show, we will talk about the Denver Nuggets loss to the Portland Trail Blazers. I will explain why I am livid with the officiating at the end of the game. We will discuss Christian Braun's struggles. We will discuss apparently Aaron Gordon's struggles. We will talk about David Adelman, who the chat is talking about, that wants to go over some of the decisions that were made there. All that and more on today's show. Glad to have you with us. I'm Matt Morse. I've been credentialed as a Nuggets reporter since 2012 was when I first got it. Denver Dig, Locked On NBA Daily, the Action Network. Ryan Blackburn is with me. He's at NBA Blackburn on Twitter, the Pickaxe and Roll podcast, as well as at Mile High Sports. Okay.
Brutal.
Nuggets lose to the Blazers in their opening week of the cut. Like, they're just, again, they're
dead.
No, they don't get to go. They don't have to play an extra game. Oh no,
the NBA Cup is dead. Long live the NBA Cup. Nuggets fans, I know were thrilled about it this afternoon when we got to talk about it with Cam. That was a great game objectively. Yeah. It just, unfortunately, it didn't really manifest into much.
Well, it manifested into a game that they should have won and were probably going to win if things had not gone absolutely bonkers. I do want to start with this from the very first comment that we got in the chat. Both games we've lost have been collapses in the fourth. The good news on that, they were both road losses in the fourth quarter. That is the only thing that has, like, if Denver just tightens a little bit, they're undefeated right now. Now it's like, ifs and buts and candies and nuts. But like, I think that's really, really kind of notable here. Chat, there is not going to be any, I'm not going to allow any panicking tonight. Come on, guys. This team rules. The team is awesome. They lost a bonkers game with a set of absolute nonsense officiating that I'm going to have to try very hard to curtail not cursing, because I want to scream expletives. For those, if you're a Blazers fan, you're popping over, oh, the homers are mad. I am consistently someone who gets absolutely ripped to shreds on this show for not defending the Nuggets, for getting the terrible whistle that all fans of every sport, of every team, think that they get. Like, every fan of every sport gets that, except me, because my team is actually the one that in football, what's the one I can't even deny it. So I am always the one that's like, no, like, that's a foul. Like, Ryan and I have constant arguments where Ryan's like, what? At the games, and I'm like, well, actually, and let's look at the replay. Like, I am telling you, I got this mad about the Westbrook one last year, and this continues to frustrate me. At the end of games, I am fine if you decide, hey, let the chips fall where they may. We're gonna have a pretty tight whistle, or loose whistle rather. It's gonna have to be blood, no foul. We're not gonna call it. That's fine. Great. Let the players decide the game. That's how I prefer it. If there's contact, hey, got to make a shot. That's how it goes, late game situation. That's what I prefer. But if you're going to go the other way, and you're going to call everything tight, then call it tight. If you're going to make a call to decide the game from where you are on the backside of the play, guessing from the angle, not that one, the last one, the game loser that you think that proves that Aaron Gordon is the problem. If you're going to make that call,
okay,
and you're going to call, look, the Christian one, I have a hard time with, because I'm just like, yeah, that really was a block. Like, it really was, like, that really was, like, he was clearly moving. He didn't have his feet set. But also just like, if you're going to on the other end be like, no, you can bear hug Nikola Jokic on an inbound pass. That's totally fine. You can play this aggressive, pestering physical style of defense, and we're not going to call it.
I don't know. Like, he did foul him. Like, it was a clear foul, and they should have called it both ways. And it should, like, I'm more upset, Matt, about the bear hugging of Nikola Jokic from behind.
That's my point.
Because somehow you grab the jump ball, like, and you are able to generate the jump ball from behind, because Toumani Camara has 5 fouls, and so you couldn't possibly call the 6th foul on him in that situation. Again, for Nikola Jokic, the best player in the NBA in a clutch time situation, there's no way that he would be like fouled in that situation. I mean, come on, what are we doing here? I just, like, if you're going to have like the little gentle hand on the hip for Aaron Gordon be a foul, then you better darn call the other foul on and just call both ways, man. It was a brutal game. Obviously the Blazers generated the momentum, but this is another example of the small teams that go undersized, able to get away with grand larceny when going against the Nuggets and Nikola Jokic. This is how it goes every single darn time you get down into this situation, and I'm sick of it, Matt.
Yeah, and like, look, the challenge I thought was bad because I think he should have challenged on the play on Cam Johnson where he got hit after the layup attempt where it got blocked. Like, you're not allowed to do that.
A lot of times where Adelman missed on the challenge. A lot of times.
Yeah. And like, look, this is his first time as a head coach, and they're getting used to it. And I don't even know who's in charge of the tablet.
Common thread though in both of those losses.
So like that's how thin the margins are. My only thing here is I'm fine with being like, it was a foul. Like, sure, he fouled him on the play. I continue to always be like, never decide to forget, never. Unless it is a drive into contact where it's like, oh yeah, that's absolutely like he hammered him.
Or you take out a guy's legs or something.
Yeah.
Like
that's what it's going to have to take.
Clear as day. Like,
this nonsense on the like deciding games like this. It's the worst. Like, this is not what sports is supposed to be about. It's just not. And like, look, and I am a Chiefs fan. We've won a Super Bowl because of PI calls.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. Right. And I don't want it decided that way either. I don't decide games unless it is egregious. You cannot make that, especially that sequence. So that was really frustrating. And look, this doesn't change the fact that the Nuggets didn't lose this game because of officiating. If you're like, yes, they did. No, because it's not, a basketball game is not one possession. It's not 2 possessions. Not even the last 10 that they screwed up in unimaginable ways. And if the Nuggets don't turn the ball over as much as they did, they win this game and probably win it by 7-8 points. If the Nuggets rebound better, they win this game probably by 7-8 points. If the Nuggets handle pressure better, ball pressure, they win this game by 7-8 points. Now, we'll get to all that, but that is the thing, is like, the Nuggets didn't lose this game because of the officiating. The officiating was bad. The Nuggets didn't win this game because of the officiating, but they didn't lose this game because of the officiating.
No.
And we can say that it was bad.
Yeah, it's annoying, but at the end of the day, 31 free throws for the Nuggets, 31 free throws for the Blazers. Would be nice if Denver could shoot better than like me as a 3-point shooter out there. That would be cool. But yeah, Denver, for the second loss that they've had so far this year, has not been able to execute in the fourth quarter when the opposing team has turned up the ball pressure. Obviously, the Blazers getting away with some stuff, but like, you know that's going to happen in a playoff environment. So hopefully they use this as a good opportunity, practice against these situations, against these lineups where they go small and you just know that you have to fight through contact no matter what. And like, the players just have to execute, man. The starters, this has been the starters 2 times in a row, I think, where they have really let go of the rope. And it's a couple of guys that we could really point to. One in particular that needs to start stepping up his game this year after getting paid. But I do think that there's a lot to take away here. Murray looked hampered throughout this game. I will say that, like, just a lot of his ability to deal with the pressure. Still made some great plays. Still finished with 22 on 15 shots. Like,
I thought he was great.
He was great, but you know what you see. You know the difference of what it looks like from a burst and agility standpoint.
But he got to all those looks still. They weren't screening was the big reason for the reason why they weren't able to get that separation and get him to those looks.
Yeah.
I thought honestly, Jamal Murray played 34 minutes, had that level of pressure applied by those defenders and had 2 turnovers.
Yeah.
Like
he was not a problem.
And probably his potential assists are going to be pretty good after it when we go back and watch this game. Like, or check the numbers. I thought Jamal was good. And I understand that it's like, we got to be able to, people want them to like to be able to break this pressure easier. And I think we got to talk about that in like a little bit, but I will just say like, one, guys, like that's extreme. Like the Blazers are a great defensive team. I don't think they're a great team, but they're a great defensive team. It is not easy to break that press. It is not easy to handle that. And Jamal wasn't the one that was like turning the ball over. So, like, Jamal, I thought was fine tonight. The numbers on him on -15 is because Val had a series of really bad turnovers, and he was on the bench for those runs in that fourth quarter when Adelman was trying to steal minutes for Yoke.
And Hardaway got in and was really cooking in those situations too. So, like, that's not on Murray from a plus-minus standpoint. But, no, it's tough. Like, this is one of those games that we're going to look back on as just one of the 50-50 games that Denver lost. And there's too many, like 2 of those so far, and that's too many.
Coming up, we'll go through everybody that and like the good, the bad, and the ugly. We'll keep talking about who was good, who was bad, all the kind of sequences, the 3-point stuff, those kind of sequences. I am gonna defend Cam Johnson. I think Cam Johnson played well tonight. We'll talk about that. We'll get to the guys who didn't play well, David Adelman, and more coming up on Locked On Nuggets. The NBA season's heating up, and DoorDash has found the perfect way to keep fans in their bag all season long. Whether you're watching for the highlights, your fantasy team, or just your favorite player, DoorDash makes every game night even better. DoorDash is the official on-demand delivery platform of the NBA, and they're celebrating with something called the Bag Drop. Every time an NBA player scores 50 points in the game, DoorDash drops 50% off your order with Dash Pass the next day, and you're automatically entered for a chance to win the ultimate fan bag. We're talking player-inspired drip, exclusive gear, and stuff you'll actually want. You can get everything from DoorDash, not just food, snacks, drinks, headphones, ice, even socks, all delivered. A lot of times when I'm on the road, I use DoorDash when I need to get medicine. If I've got like a killer headache, I hit up DoorDash, get a pharmacy, and get the stuff that I need delivered. DoorDash has you covered for late night highlights, last minute watch parties, and double OT fuel ups. So next time someone goes off for 50, use promo code NBA50 the next day to get 50% off of DoorDash with Dash Pass, plus your shot at the bag drop. Dash Pass members only, 50% off up to $10 the day after a 50-point game with promo code. Terms apply. No purchase necessary. Ends April 13th. Open to U.S. residents 21 or older. Visit DoorDashinYourBag.com for full details. DoorDash, in your bag all season long. We're also brought to you by FanDuel. The NBA is back. There's no better place to get in on the action than FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Even if you missed the start of the game or want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score next to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can even combine your live bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. It keeps the game exciting, especially when your team's making that late push. Right now, FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. So head to FanDuel.com to sign up and play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. We'll be right back on Locked On Nuggets. Back here on Locked On Nuggets. Thanks for joining us and making this part of your day and being with us here after a frustrating Nuggets loss to the Blazers, which I got to say, it's better that it was like frustrating and not like sad. That was last year, right? Sad was how it was last year.
Well, it's tough. I remember them losing early in the season to Anthony Simons just like walking to the lane on a buzzer beater against them. And Russell Westbrook was on the floor for that one, and Jokic just didn't rotate over. And it was a sad way to lose that game, but the result was the same.
All right. Let's talk about AG. People agree with you some people agree with you in the chat that AG was bad, atrocious, whatever.
Atrocious is not the right word. It's just like he did have some good plays, and there were definitely some moments that I think like the turnaround bucket that he had was tough. Like that one was ridiculous, and Denver needed that because they couldn't get the ball to Jokic for some reason. But the 2 turnovers bringing the ball up against pressure and just not really being able to deal with that.
Well, one of them wasn't bringing the ball up against pressure. One of them was on a slip cut that he just like lost the ball or it got poked from behind.
It's when the defender is up against him though, and like he's trying to drive and create something. And so same sort of mechanic, I guess, but not necessarily.
Do you feel like he has a lot of problems with that? Do you feel like he has problems driving?
It's not a frequent one, no.
Yeah.
Like it's one that I noticed tonight because it doesn't usually happen. Like he's usually very good in these situations, but tonight he was not.
Yeah. I don't like the matchup of him versus like a lot of it. I will say this. I think that the best way to use AG defensively at this point is as a help defender. He had a really great steal in this game coming as a help defender. I think that you can put AG on very select matchups, big, powerful guys like Kawhi Leonard. I personally don't view Deni Avdija that way. Deni Avdija is not like super strong. He's like quick and agile and has like really great scoring touch. So to me, Deni is more of like a perimeter guy. Do you feel kind of more that he's like a bigger body that you have to deal with?
I think he's grown into being a bigger body. I would not say that he's like the biggest traditional power forward or anything like that, but he's a forward. He's more of a forward than a wing at this point, and his best position to me is the 4. But like the Blazers are one of those teams where, because when they go small and you've got the 3, the 4, and the 5 occupied by Camera, by Avdija and Grant, like they're all 6'9". They're all that same player type. So against Jokic, they're going to have a speed advantage. Against Christian Braun and not Cam Johnson, but against Christian Braun and Jamal Murray, they're going to have a height advantage. So you need Cam Johnson and Aaron Gordon in particular to step up in those situations. And Christian Braun is the 50-50 one. Like, can he handle that matchup? Like you're paying him to do it. And he did not do it tonight.
Yeah, I want to wait on Christian.
Okay.
I think like he was enough to actually like warrant some discussion. I thought, like I mentioned, I thought Jamal played well. How'd you think Cam played tonight?
So we got blocked going towards the rim in that situation, and like that late one that,
but that's also like
honestly probably could have. No, I'm not complaining. Like it could have been a foul and probably should have been a foul in that situation. Defensively, I thought he was pretty good. I thought that there were a lot of plays where he helped on, where he gave some good contests. He like was smartly rotating. He was one of the big reasons in both the first and the third quarter, playing as long as he did, why the Nuggets were able to hold the Blazers to 18 points in each of those quarters. The problem was that they held them to 36 and 38 in the second and fourth quarter and just couldn't get stops when he was off the floor. So I don't see him as the problem in this game. He was a plus 14 and I thought did a lot of good things. Now they could use him doing more of those good things and handling that pressure a little bit better, but he's not ready for that yet.
I think he just needs to get comfortable on the shot, because I liked everything else. Like there was a sequence I singled out and I'll pull it up and do a breakdown on it. Whereas like he made the play work. I will also say like going back and watching a lot more of the stuff, like it stands out a lot more when you go back and you watch these possessions you watch how the mechanisms work and why stuff is working so well for the Nuggets and why we're so confident in their offense. And you start to see like so much of it is like stuff that Cam does.
Yeah.
Now, like some people are just going to be like, I don't care. I want his box score. I want him to score 15 points. I want him to score 20 points a night. And that's fine. And you're not going to be satisfied. But I'm telling you, like Cam Johnson, there are reasons to be really optimistic about where he's eventually going to get to.
Yeah.
So somebody in the comments, Jack Jones is talking about how like we're not going to win with Jokic taking 10 shots. So Jokic had 7 free throws, my guy. So Jokic had 21 points, 14 rebounds, 9 assists against an elite defense I have to check the numbers, but what was probably a pretty slow paced game.
Triple double streak broken, by the way. That's unfortunate.
I mean, nobody could do 5. That's the lesson.
Would be nice if somebody could hit a perimeter jumper. That would be cool.
So from that perspective, I think I don't have a problem with the Nuggets will be better off if Jokic plays like this versus last season. They will just be better off. He'll have more in the tank. He'll be better in the playoffs. He will give you those monster performances more consistently if he's playing like this, but also like this team is built to be an everybody eats team.
Yeah.
So everybody's got to eat. and that means making shots, and that especially means making threes. Nuggets tonight, I don't. So here's the challenge, right? Because Adelman's kind of needled us about how often we ask about the threes.
It's not about the games against Phoenix and Utah and whoever.
Well, that's the point. But in his defense, though, it can't just be like, oh, you won, the threes aren't important. Oh, you lost, now the threes matter.
It's about to me, this is a building process where the Nuggets have to keep like factoring this into their identity, keep like force feeding the identity to the point where they're comfortable doing it on a consistent basis. And like they were 0 for 2 from 3 in the fourth quarter at one point. 0 for 2. Like they just like it was late in the fourth quarter when that was actually the case. So they just do not take enough of them. And here's the thing, like Portland is such a great perimeter defense team that I understand it. I get it. Like this you want to generate good shots and they're always there. So like, why would you take a contested three? But you got to find more mechanisms where you are spacing to the corner and you are actually getting threes up from the corners and from the wings that are kicked out to you, as opposed to hanging around the dunker spot, which so certain guys are doing a lot.
I'm trying to hit everybody before we hit Christian. THJ, I thought it's crazy. This is one of those games where it's like, I look at the box score and I'm like, THJ was 3 of 10 because it felt like he made like a slicing layup and a big 3 and he was a +2 and like he had 2 assists. And like, I just thought like THJ was great in this game. And then you like look at the box score and it's like 3 of 10, 2 of 6 from 3.
Don't care. Like he did what they needed to do. And so much of his ability for this team is to give them that jolt. Every time he came into the game, he gave them a jolt of offense. They needed somebody who could just take some pressure off of the starters who, like, especially in that middle of the third quarter, were looking pretty sluggish. They were looking pretty slow. And Tim was able to get stuff moving a little bit more. Part of that was because of the actual turning defense into offense in that quarter, which was good. But I thought that Tim was great. He probably should have closed, if we're being honest.
Yeah, and like you don't do that because of defense, which again I'm trying to put off on the Christian conversation so we can like dive in on it. On the threes thing, so Portland only hits 5 more, which is not a small amount, but it's also not a huge amount. It's not good. 39 to 25 attempts is not good. Denver makes a few more, especially open ones, and then this is an 8-point win, and that comes out just fine here.
Yeah.
I will say, look, I don't think Cam's defense has been good. That is like, I wasn't expecting it to be great. Like after I kind of got over the high of like how good of a player he is, I did kind of like, all right, look, it is not as easy as it was when he was younger. And he's not old, but it's just like when you're fresh and bright on that Suns team, everybody's flying around because that's your only job. You're not doing anything else. And now he's just like a more seasoned player, and he doesn't make the rotations. Nuggets are still not like it just continues to kill me that they cannot make the rotations to contain the ball. Like if you move the ball twice, you're gonna get a drive every single time. You're gonna get a drive. Doesn't matter who it is. Like it's either gonna be Cam or it's gonna be AG or it's gonna be Christian, or it's going to be, even, and that's if they manage to protect Jamal and Joker.
Yeah.
And that's just like a problem. Like I think THJ has actually made better rotations than most guys this season.
I would agree.
Like
he's been surprisingly good defensively.
Yeah. Like he actually gets up into them and like it's like, oh, they have to stop and like rethink about it. Okay. By the way, somebody's asking like, where was that number 1 offense today? I mean, they still shot this is a bad offensive performance versus again elite defense, and they still shot 48% from the field.
Yeah, Blazers might legit finish number 1 or 2 or 3 defensively this year. They're that good.
Like I'm going to keep promising you this offense is going to be absolutely elite. Like it's going to be elite. Okay. Let's up next. We'll talk about Christian Braun, and we'll talk about David Adelman coming up on Locked On Nuggets. Your ambition just met its match. With Robinhood, you play for the win, not just on game day, every day. Locking in on every opening, beating your PR, beating it again. Channel that drive into your money. Robinhood puts you in control of your money. Trade stocks and EFTs, options, futures, and crypto, all on one platform. You can now build and execute your own trades from a desktop with Robinhood Legends advanced tools, or take advantage of the new Robinhood strategies with a tailored portfolio managed by a team of experts. You expect more from yourself. Expect more for your money. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Again, that's Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move. We'll be right back on Locked On Nuggets. Okay. Back here on Locked On Nuggets. One, I am always hesitant to kill these coaches for not putting in Joker sooner. It just feels like the biggest thing that fans are like, oh no, things are going badly. Push the button. When it's like, that's how you wind up with him playing 37, 38 minutes and getting gassed. Two, in the course of a season, you want them to be able to play through some of this stuff. And three, you don't allow for any sort of like opportunity for them to be able to get through these stretches. It's the same thing as like, I love Chris Marlowe and would gladly step in front of a bus for that man. But like in the clutch time, just being like, get the ball to Joker, get the ball to Joker, get the ball to Joker. And it's just like, look, they're fronting him. You have to be able to swing it to the opposite corner and somebody's going to have to knock down a three. The fact that's not a look the Nuggets even really recognize because they're so they waste a lot of time trying to figure out how to get the ball to Joker or for him to draw a foul against that coverage rather than just being like, okay, it's not there. Let's move. Right. Did you have any problems with Adelman outside of the challenge on the CB foul, not being able to challenge the other calls, which were suspect, and not getting Joker back into the game sooner?
No, I really didn't have, like, even getting Joker back into the game sooner. I don't care about that. Like, they got, you know what he got was 5.5 minutes. Like, he finished the third quarter and then they sat him for 5.5 minutes. If you multiply that by 2, he would have been on pace for 37 minutes in the game. And he actually played more than that, I'm pretty sure. So like, he's just like, or he did play 37. Like, guys, it's October. It's October 31st, and they're trying to work in Jonas Valanciunas into the game. Now, here's one thing they could do. I wonder if they could have tried to play Jonas and Nikola together in this particular game with the Blazers. Like, the only thing that they were really doing was driving. They were not shooting the ball well. They shot 11 of 39 from 3, which was 28%. Why not go zone in that situation and play with your two bigs and just bludgeon them to death? I don't know. Like, this is a difficult situation and we need more data on Adelman in general and some of the habits that he likes to form and the rotations that he likes to put out there. But I don't care. Like, Jokic played 37. He was playing hard tonight too on both ends of the floor. Like, I don't think he needed to play more.
Okay. All right. So Christian Braun tonight, only -1. 5 points on 2 of 6 shooting, 0 of 3 from 3-point range, including one that was absolutely killer at the end, a wide open look. 1 of 2 from the foul line, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block, 4 turnovers, and 5 fouls. It was just, I mean, like, it was not a good game.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. So Christian was not good in the opener, but I felt like he was good in every game against the easy opponents in between. So it's like bad against the Warriors, bad against the Blazers, good versus the bad teams in between, and the Wolves.
Well, he was not good against the Wolves.
Okay.
He actually didn't close in that game. And I thought that his lack of spacing in that game was also a factor for why they struggled at the beginning. So like, this is right now, the evidence that we have is that Christian has been really good against the bad teams and not good enough against the good teams, where they have a scouting report on him.
The offense, in all honesty, is not my biggest concern. The 3-point shooting is a thing. But again, some of this is like, look, that miss feels huge because they finally generated a 3. If you want to, like, you need to create more of these opportunities for guys. And they don't even look for those, again, because a lot of the time they're trying to do what everybody says to do, which is get the ball to Jokic. Well, if they're fronting and sandwiching him, You have to like you're dribbling, try not to get the ball stolen, trying to find the passing angle, or waiting for him to get a foul, and that ticks off like 10 seconds.
Yeah,
of them doing that. It's one reason why, like, honestly, like he just needs to get the ball up top. Like they need to run like a DHO at half court instead of the pick and roll. They did run that high pick and roll up top to try and get separation.
The problem with doing it up top, though, against this particular team is the Blazers will gamble for that ball. They will go for that steal. And this is a team where the Nuggets will turn the ball over at the top. But like, yeah, Jokic had to touch the ball. He probably, in my opinion, he shouldn't touch the ball on the side in this situation. He should be getting to the nail. Like every single time they should be trying to get the ball to the nail, get the ball to the elbow, let him get some space in that situation, and then let him go to work. But no, it's like the CB conversation has been tough. His numbers on the year to start, let me just read these off real quick. 11 points per game, 49% from the field, 18% from three, 2 attempts per game, 2.2 attempts per game on that, 90% from the line, 4 rebounds, 2.4 assists, 1.6 turnovers, 1.2 stocks. So not necessarily getting involved on the stocks as much as he needs to. Like there's just a lot of things where I think he is not improved upon. He's the same player. And this is going to be a process. He's still a young player with the potential to improve over time if given the reps and opportunities to do so. But he has to go about this in the right way and actually actively take those shots that they are generating for him. He is record scratching too often. And that just like that can't happen on the road in this situation.
58% from 2-point range. He shot 65% from 2-point range last season because he was like such an incredible finisher. And some of those aren't finishing quite as easy.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of the people in the chat are like, he's getting paid $25 million to make fast break layups, which
not yet. This year he's getting paid $3.
Fair point. That's a fair point. It's a good, that was really funny. My bigger problem with it is CB. Why was CB drafted?
To be a role player, to be somebody that connects, to be somebody that is mostly a 3-and-D, but a 3-and-D plus. Somebody that can, like, is a smart, high IQ player that does a lot of the connecting stuff.
I think it was mostly the defense. Like I thought like the baseline was like, yeah, he'll grow into being a 3-and-D player. He can, you know, maybe like work, like he could be a slash with his athleticism. But like the defense is like the thing. And we are finding more and more about this defense in particular, which, you know, we talked about it constantly over the summer about the importance of them getting in that top 15. You can't scheme a top 15 defense if you don't have a rim protector at center and you don't have the ability to stop on the perimeter, and they don't have anybody. Scott Hastings, I thought, did a really good job on the call of talking about Avdia getting to his right every single time. Like that's what Avdia wants. That's in the scouting report. Is Avdia wants to get to the right. Like we could look it up on Synergy and see the numbers on his splits on right versus left. Right? Like even we've got access to that with our nonsense.
Yeah, we do.
And so like that can't consistently happen. Is like you've got to be able to contain the ball. And if the idea from this team, and maybe I'm wrong, and it's like, yeah, AG is supposed to be that guy, then that's not going to happen either. Like, I'll just tell you, like, AG is not going to be stopping guys with quick first steps anymore. Just not going to happen. Now, he's a monster versus Kawhi Leonard. He's great versus LeBron James.
Yeah, the technical guys, like he is the right guy to put on them for sure. Brandon Ingram's going to get disrupted against him.
Big, strong, physical technique guys. Yeah. But guys with good first steps are going to give AG problems. And that's where, like, it's got to be CB. Now, again, this is tough because, again, I said again a lot. One of the things that you find with the Wolves, one of the reasons their perimeter defenders look good is because they can just shade. Right? Hey, I'm just going to sit on his left hand and I'm just going to drive him into Rudy. And then Rudy will clean this up. Like, good luck You want to drive, go for it, man. But I'm not going to let you get to this side. Christian doesn't have that luxury. He doesn't have that rim protection. So I want to give him that benefit of the doubt that like this is a harder assignment. But the impact just like isn't there. And like I go back and forth because they really believe that they can be this level of offense and this awesome offense. And they are like genuinely like I still am like this is gonna be the number one offense in the league. I'm confident about it. Without the need for like all of the fancy shooty hoopy, let's just chuck up a bunch of threes nonsense. But when you face a team like Portland, every defense has to give up something. Like Adelman said that. And Portland tonight was very clearly like, look, man, you don't want to take threes, and we know it. So we're not going to let you get loose off the ball. We're going to compact the space. We're going to front Jokic. And if you kick the open shooters and they make it, we'll lose. But we don't think you're going to do that. And they didn't.
Cam Johnson attempted 3 threes tonight. Aaron Gordon attempted 2. Jokic attempted 3. Murray attempted 4. Murray, I think it's also one of the reasons why I think Murray is dealing with something clearly is that like his 3-point attempts go way down and his mid-range attempts go way up in these situations when he's hurt. So like you have all of these situations and Christian Braun just has to get those attempts up. If not him, then they need to get somebody else in off the bench. It's likely Tim Hardaway Jr., just somebody who can relieve the pressure because that's what happens to this Nuggets team on a consistent basis. Cam Johnson is going to eventually be that guy that relieves the pressure for Denver. Aaron Gordon, surprised that he didn't get more attempts from 3. He was hanging around the dunker spot a lot tonight. But Christian, like you can't have 2 guys hanging around the dunker spot. You can only have 1. And the fact that they had 2 in the starting lineup it's I don't want to say the word unacceptable because like that's ridiculous at this stage in October. But like this is a Nuggets championship caliber starting lineup. Start playing offense like a champion again.
I mean, they have.
Yeah. Against good teams.
What was their offensive rating versus the Wolves? I thought it was pretty good. I have to go look it up.
Did Murray just kind of unlock that for them?
Yeah, but that's part of the equation too. Is like some
Sure.
nights, you know,
that's me getting too far ahead of myself in this situation. Yeah. I would just like to have Murray is clearly hurt, and you would like to have somebody be able to step up and take that pressure off of him. That's what that's what you're going to pay Christian Braun to do. That's what you're paying Aaron Gordon to do. So it's what you brought in Cam Johnson to do. So like one of those guys has to do it.
So Ryan and I have gone back and forth on Christian. And everybody's going to have their guys and that kind of stuff happens. And I think that there's probably like, look, when Christian's 27, I think that this is entirely different. Right. But I do think this is a good example of like, Christian's he's just not a ball handler. That's not who he is. I don't think that's who he is now. And if he gets there, it's going to have to be like a long-term play, not like this season he became a ball handler, creator, 5 assist guy, 4 assist guy. Did he have 4 assists last game versus the hapless Pelicans?
Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah, he did. Because I'm tracking it every single game. So like that I just don't think is who he is. So this does kind of offer up the question. In games like this where they struggle, should it just be whoever is playing the best needs, Adelman's kind of like, that's what he set the tone of last year, right? Was like, whoever's playing well in that game is gonna play. If it's Jalen Pickett over Russell Westbrook, so be it. And there's been that kind of tone, like of continuing that idea. And he's even done that where like Christian didn't close the Wolves game, right? My question for you is, if you're facing teams like this, Toronto, Miami, Portland, these teams that apply so much pressure backcourt.
Yeah.
Do you want Bruce Brown? Do you want Peyton? And who do you want them for?
I think you can go a couple of different ways. Like Peyton has been pretty good handling in these situations. Bruce, I think, is also just a guy that you have to learn to trust in these situations again. But like tonight, it shouldn't have been Christian. That's where we're kind of at with this, and getting to a comfortable place where you feel like you can make that change is important. I still think that Tim Hardaway was the right call tonight personally, just because like he can handle a little bit, but not as that's not really what it is. It's about making things easier for the others in the half court, which is all about where I'm at this stage.
We're 5 games in, and like their response, look, to their credit, when we were like, wow, you guys are amazing after the Pels game, every single player was like,
yeah, they know.
Like, there's a lot of stuff we got to fix and clean up. And like Adelman's very honest about this is still preseason. We just don't get enough time. It just is. This is the thing that like no excuse. Like, guys, look, they're not going to go 82-0. I don't know what to tell you. I really am surprised that the chat is this upset tonight when it's like you have 2 losses versus quality Western Conference opponents on the road in overtime or on a last-second foul call by an official that was behind the play and probably shouldn't have made the call. Like,
all right, well, so is this the difference between 6-4 and 8-2 to start the season? Like, could they go 8-2 and you would feel like, all right, they had these opportunities at the beginning that they missed, and then they went 3-2 again in the next 5 games. And okay, well, they had an opportunity to really start getting some separation for the middle of the season that's going to suck. And they missed out on that. And now they're still in the pack with the rest of the West.
So, okay. The thing here, though, is we get caught up when we analyze stuff like that, because I'm a big schedule analyzer, just like you are. When we get caught up in stuff like that, what we do is we go, well, they need to do this because this is the optimum. So if they don't, that's bad.
Yeah.
When in reality, it's like, yeah, it's not optimal. So that means that they're going to have to do the other thing. Yeah, it'll be harder in January, but they can also rattle off a bunch of those wins. Like the odds are that they're going to absolutely annihilate everyone in March. They're home all the time. And they need it. Like, I'm with you. They need to get off to to a good start, Ryan. But we're not worried. You're not worried about them being under 500. You're not worried about them being 2 games over 500.
No, I'm worried about them having to play through game 77 of the season and then be exhausted in the playoffs again.
That's also okay. So some of that though is like not up to them.
It can be if they execute in the early parts of the season and
no,
get
because
those wins.
You could do that, Ryan, and then the other teams can just win too. That's how good the West is. Like, the problem 2 years ago was not that the Nuggets didn't win enough games. It was that the Wolves and the Thunder were like every night it was like another Nuggets win, Wolves Thunder won. Another Nuggets win, Wolves Thunder won. Like, this is why I was begging. I was like, you can't be worried about that. Like, you got to take care of yourself.
So if they're in that situation, and like this is a conversation for another day probably, but if they're in that conversation, then I do think that they like at that point, if you go 40-20, which Red Whites said in the comments, then you can take that game by game at that point. But as long as they get to that place, they're going to be fine. So look, if they go 2-1, like every 3 games, it's going to be fine.
It's fine.
but you're never going to be able to get momentum the way that you want to. But we did talk about this though. Like the Spurs did this, they go 4-1 every 5 games, and they rattled it off to 64-16. That's pretty cool.
And so much of this, man, is like
18.
So much of this is just like the players are just like they don't want to disappoint the fans, right? But like a lot of this is just the NBA is hard. I don't know, like they're like, I don't know what to tell you guys. Like, we're human. The NBA is really hard. These teams are really good. Can't do the optimum all the time. You know?
For sure. Like against Golden State, this wasn't a bad loss. Not to me. Like, I don't think the Golden State loss was a bad loss. I still feel that way.
I think this one, I felt like the Golden State one was. I don't feel like this one was. This one I'm kind of like, eh.
This one that they had at the end and then allowed it to kind of get into the place where the refs could affect the game.
Yeah, but it's also like, okay, they made the mistakes and Portland made all the plays that they needed to, and the nonsense happened, and it's on the road, and they've won a bunch of games in a row, and Jamal's came in with a bad calf. Like it's just fine. It's fine. I do want to push back here. K Gold 53 says Murray tried to prove a point early season. In fact, if he's the team's leading scorer, we will disappoint. Jokic still needs to be the leading scorer. 1, Jokic will still be the leading scorer. Do not worry. 2, you can't kill Jamal Murray for not scoring enough, and then when he scores, complain about it. Come on, guys.
Yeah, he took 15 shots. Like this wasn't this wasn't a situation where he was taking the ball away from Jokic. A lot of the shots that he's getting are when Jokic is off the floor, like because he's on the floor the entire time that Jokic is off the floor. So I don't know. Like I think that Murray like can and should take the most shots on the team at times. Like that takes pressure off of Jokic and allows him to play the way that he wants to play.
Yeah. You know what's funny was Peyton. Everyone's praising Peyton Watson tonight. Do you know what I thought Peyton Watson did? He was good on defense, but you know what I actually think that he did the most of tonight?
Dropping the ball off to Jonas Valanciunas.
He got out in transition and he was the recipient of all the Christian Braun plays.
Interesting. So,
which is like the problem with that is like, could you just get is that replaceable? And maybe that's the best way to kind of say this is Christian Braun has above replacement level talent. He does. He's got above replacement level mindset. He's got above replacement level skill. He's got above replacement level IQ. But so far this season, while I think he's made some very smart plays, his impact has been in replacement level. Yeah. And that's
that. So. It's tough. Like they need more from him. So here's hoping he can really amp it up. The 3-pointer and the actual willingness to accept what that role means, I think is really important. He has fought that a lot.
The record scratch is the biggest problem.
Yeah.
Like he can't be because even on that the one that he took at the end, it wasn't like catch fire release. Right? Like every time he's thinking about it.
I thought that one was fine. It's just like it's unfortunate because like yeah, he wants to make the right play every single time, but so often the ball ends up in the shooting guard's hands in a wide open perimeter 3. The right possession is to shoot the ball.
And look, I will also say, I mean, some of this is like Cam's getting guarded like a perimeter shooter because he's more one than CB. But that's why like Cam's supposed to be here. Cam's supposed to be the 3-point shooter on the team. On that starting unit. That's what he's supposed to do. So
not getting a lot of attempts. Like he's got to create more opportunities for himself for sure. Like he wants to be a part of the system, but the system is having him fade into the background a fair amount and would like to see him and the Nuggets get him to a place where he is calling his own number on a more consistent place because they need him to.
I will disagree with this, though. Andrew Kitch says Cam Johnson really is being used like MPJ. That's incorrect. A lot of it is like Cam gets touches and drives and opens up things, and then you will watch and be like, oh, like this play where Jokic got this open floater or they got this open dunk was because of the defense having to make all these moves because Cam's actually able to move the ball. So I would just say like he's not MPJ. MPJ is a better shooter because MPJ is willing to shoot and he's great. He's elite. He's like MPJ is one of the 5 best shooters in the league. All right, good show. I thought it was a really good show.
Yeah,
we'll see.
I agree. Yeah, well, the Nuggets like they're going to be fine. It was a loss on October 31st.
Right. Happy Halloween. We'll be back on Sunday night for No Jinx. Appreciate you guys being with us. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button on your way out if you're watching on YouTube. If you're in the podcast, give us all a 5-star review. We do appreciate those. Thanks for joining us. We love you guys. You guys are the best. We'll see you guys again next time on Locked On Nuggets. I can't believe that sequence of calls.
Foul. Jump ball.
What?
Jump ball.
Jump ball?